we missed it in between the episodes, but I do love the conversation between Pritchard and Jensen in this part of the game, where the tone is shifted away from outright antagonism to begrudging teamwork and acceptance with each other.
Mr. Jensen. I have no intention of killing myself
Yes.
anymore.
Yeah, it's all very subtle.
Nor will I resist arrest when the
It's
police
just, like
arrive.
little lines of dialogue.
I assume your people have already contacted them?
If they haven't
Is
yet,
it
they will
possible
be
to
soon.
shoot Sandoval at this
Yes.
Use the information I gave you to
You
track
can
down
shoot
Pretty
him,
sure
so
it is.
after
With any luck, they will
talking
still
him
be alive.
into living,
Men who
and then you
kidnapped
can
them,
blow him
the
away.
soldiers.
I don't know who they were. Only last names.
It's
Barrett.
just like, come on, give me the
and
gun,
Namir.
man. Give me the gun. Life is
I
worth
sensed they
it.
were
Like,
highly
why?
trained professionals.
You get the gun, you're
For
just
who?
I didn't.
what?
My
You
brother.
shoot him, and then you
Zeke
shoot him in
put
the
them in
face.
touch with me.
Your brother, not Taggart.
No, you shoot him like in the knee or something.
Dirty.
And you shoot him in the foot.
Now. He's
I'm
like,
pretending that's a Team Fortress map in the background.
nothing ever sticks.
You shoot him. You shoot him in the leg in such a way that he, with your explosive rounds.
And you thought
so
I'd
that
actually
he-
do it.
I did think you were gonna do it. You shoot him in the leg with your explosive rounds, so he needs an augmented leg. But I'm glad you didn't shoot him, because Sandoval really is. I think he is the most. Most of the anti-Aug people are not very likable, and in fact, some of them are just villainous. And it's good that we got a good, solid anti-Aug person with good motivation, and who's very likable, and is kind of a tragic character. I just really like Sandoval. Especially feel bad after killing his brother, like I did in my playthrough.
I guess we're about to find out.
Where the fuck do I go here?
Here's
Ow.
what was he smoking back there? Is that a cigarette?
I don't know.
It's medicinal, Rutskarn. He's got a prescription for it. Just back
I was
off.
just gonna say, I have a long-standing policy of not accepting paranoid statements about the government coming from people who are in the process of lighting something.
Oh, I know where we are. This is the
Yeah,
sewers
we're in
under
the
gangers.
long, smelly sewer corridor where you just had to get into a building which had no other entrances.
Hey, look, it's this place. What are the crossbows still here?
Oh yeah, it's this part of the city which is like the
Oh
alleyway
wait,
full
no,
of
that's
garbage where
right.
you
I
had to
didn't
punch out some
use the
dudes.
crossbow. Whatever. Why do these guys still hate me? Looks like all the corpses are gone.
What, are you positive?
Looks like
that
everybody's
lasts
gone.
Only as long as the existence of the corpses.
Pretty much. It is kind of nice to be able to like run around areas that you've already been in, like coming back here. It gives the world a little bit more of a feeling of openness. Although, I mean, you can't get that much because the game is set in Detroit with like a city block worth of stuff and a bunch of blocked off roads. So
It's
Yeah,
set in a model of Detroit used for testing pathfinding abilities in the mines. Oh, that was
that's
the
right, we gotta go
rarely
to,
seen, partially damaging fall.
God damn it, Jensen! Why can you only sprint for like 3 seconds?
There are
What kind of
odds for
person
that.
can only do that? Yeah, but they're kind of worthless.
Thousands of angry rioters took
I like how when he sprints, it looks like he's holding his right and left hands like open palmed just outside his field of vision and like sort of raising and lowering. Like it doesn't look like he's actually swinging his arm.
No, it looks like he's doing the robot. Like the robot dance while he's
Yeah.
running.
It's such an amusing image.
Yes, it is. He's
I'm enjoying
mocking
that little-
everybody that calls him robot.
Sorry, Josh. Was that when you do you use elevators as your excuse to take off your
Was
headphones?
this always
and
blue?
start listening to Slayer records?
No. I don't know what you're talking about, Red Sky. That music
Okay, so-
sucks for lame people.
Dry headbanging.
I do like that there's pictures of Megan and the dog in your apartment. I noticed that recently on a playthrough.
Although they look really weird because they're like photographic, like they're photos of real people in a game where you don't quite have that kind of verisimilitude, and if you did, it would be Uncanny Valley.
Oh,
Yeah,
she looks, what is this woman? She looks hideous. Her head is so normal-sized.
Man, look at all this fine definition on her face, and her skin, it's smooth and bump map and reflectionless.
It's nice that Malik is going to land like right as we come out of the door. It's pretty nice time. She's just circling around, like waiting to get the word from the security guy that's standing here. We walked out the door and he's like, "Yeah, okay, land."
Oh, Seamus, there's also a baseball bat in Jensen's apartment, which gives credence to your idea that there's some sort of baseball metaphor going on.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was
You
the
must
murder
have
weapon
found
that he
that
washed.
frequency.
It's my baseball bat. I seem to have washed it recently.
I was gonna bring this up, but Taggart actually, like, if you listen to one of the employees at Seraph Industries, he talks about how Taggart went on about a baseball game he saw, like that he was in the stands of, and how great it was. I wish I could remember the specifics of the story. It might be relevant to our growing theory.
Our growing theory, or maybe it just means that the people who made this game really like some baseball.
Do Canadians play baseball?
I can't even think
Canadians play baseball.
Does Detroit even have a baseball team? I don't. I have no idea.
Yeah,
Does
they
Detroit,
do.
The Detroit. The Detroit. What are they?
The Detroit Tigers.
The one constant throughout all the years has been baseball. Baseball has marked the time. This field, this game. It's part of our past, Jensen. It reminds us all that was once good, and it could be again.
We kinda didn't hit this helipad straight on
Nice
here.
going, Malik. She's leaving room for someone else to park.
It's a compact VTOL.
I would have laughed if you had died during that hop.
I was just waiting for it.
I do like how, so these guys are all basically stuck in here because there's a riot right outside, so they're all hanging out in the break rooms staring at the television.
The pissed off rioters are mad at these people. That's got to be an interesting feeling. You turn off the TV, dick. That is really interesting. I love how the guards are all kind of... Now, they look a little bit too freaked out. Yeah. I just like this touch. They're all talking about, wow, we're trapped at home. In fact, one of the women here in these hallways says, oh, I hope my dog's... Like, she says something about how her dog hasn't been fed. Like, it's obvious her dog is stuck in the house and she can't get to it.
Did we need to go do something with Pritchard before going up here, or is that a completely different thing that I'm remembering differently? Okay.
No, I don't believe.
It's elevator time. Oh yeah, there's some fire stuff.
Is this the one? Is this the bit where we meet Hugh, Darrow?
Yes. Okay, so
this is my favorite cut. Watch this cutscene carefully. There is so much going on here.
David,
it is
just
ridiculous.
Step down for a moment, Mr. Jensen.
This is another.
I've been hoping to meet you.
Mr. Darrow.
There is a
even know
lot
who I am.
of really incredible animation, a
very
lot of
highly
subtle
of you.
looks going on
He
on
says
everybody's
that when it comes
faces
to detective
between
work, you
Adam
are like a
and
dog with a
Darrow,
bone.
and then between
Have you
Adam
found
and
your
Seraph when he
scientist yet?
shows up in a minute.
What else did David tell you?
Over the years, plenty.
This
But today
stands
I'm
up
here as a
as
friend and fellow scientist.
against any major
Things are getting quite
motion
turbulent
picture,
out there,
as far as
wouldn't
I'm
you
concerned,
agree?
for acting, which is
So many
hard to
people
do
drunk
since
on
these are
revolution.
not actors.
The United
Somebody had
Nations
to
being
animate
urged
these
to
people
intervene.
and animate their
And all
faces,
because of
and
the
it
technology
really
I created.
amazes me
Things have come a long way since
how
then.
well they've gotten
Haven't
the
they?
voice acting to line up with their
Now my old
face
friend David
acting,
wants me to lead us to the
and their
promised
body
land.
language.
He's asked me to invite members of the UN to Panchaea.
okay, I'll agree that this is a really well set up scene, but I actually
Your
don't
geoengineering
like
project
this
in the Arctic Ocean.
because I feel like it's a.
The installation
This is one of
wouldn't
my
have been
major
built without the
problems
assistance
with
of
the
augmented
narrative in this
workers.
game is
When it's finished, my little hole
Hugh
in the
Darrow
ocean
and
is
his
going to
role
stop
and
global
everything.
warming. A lovely photo op, wouldn't you
So,
say?
Yeah.
okay, spoiler here, spoiler for the end of the game. This guy is
Kill us
the
all.
main villain in big quotes here because
You're back.
there's not much of
Can
one
I
in the whole
speak
game.
to you outside?
And
Get to the helipad, son.
And
You're
up
going
until
back
this
to
point, we've
Hampshire
kind of
Island.
heard of him
Try and
as
track down one of the
a
GPLs.
sort of a set piece in the setting. He's been on the news a couple of times. You can
Adam,
read like skill books and
tell him
stuff
to favor
that
the
are
DOD
written
to
by
do it.
him about
the
stuff,
conspirators probably know
about
I'm coming.
augments. I think at some point Seraph mentions, or there's something mentioning that Seraph was his pupil, basically. And then, of course, everything is super brightly lit. And then you come to this cutscene, and it's very, very clearly meant to kind of put the player off, because up until now, Seraph has been, you know, the big good. He's the boss. Nobody can really tell him what to do. He's the one coming up with all the plans and stuff. And then you go into his office and you see Hugh Darrow sitting behind his desk, and then he comes in a little while later and asks you to talk to him outside. I mean, the cutscene is very clearly set up to kind of like, you know, almost scare the player, make him go like, okay, what the hell is going on? Who is this guy who has the clout to actually go and sit behind Seraph's desk and scare him out of his office?
Yeah, this is Seraph's friggin' company. Like, who could walk
Boss said we're
into
heading back to
Apple
Hangshaw?
and
Right.
just sort
Tracks
of
of
boot
Shenko's
Steve
GPL
Jobs
signal.
out of his
If
office?
he's alive,
Take
there's
his
a chance the
office.
rest of them
So
are too.
That's a
if
pretty
Steve
big
Jobs
leap,
needs to
Jensen.
talk to somebody, he's like, "Oh, can you come out here?"
For a while now.
Whatever you say.
There was a
You
little
ready to get
moment
going?
at. Oh, go ahead.
No time like the present. Let's get going.
Then hop in.
Who were you saying that?
To you, I thought you hadn't finished what you had to say
Oh.
about Hugh Darrow.
No, keep going.
I wanted you to finish.
I'll keep saying. I mean,
Okay, I liked at the very end of that cutscene, Seraph was telling Adam that, you know, they'd found one of the GPL signals, and Adam immediately goes, "Oh, is it?" And Seraph goes, "It's Sevchenko." He knew that's what Adam was going to ask.
right.
And then as he's walking away, his face gives a little bit more of this exchange away and adds a little bit more to it. Just really well played, given the amount of things that they don't explicitly say, that they allow you to think for yourself in these scenes. And I just really appreciate that.
I don't like that.
Oh, and then this scene. I just did this battle
Chinese
today
government's still gotta
and
comply.
beat it for the first time, like an hour before we recorded the show, and I just finally dished out enough murder to make it happen.
What the hell?
This is a
Yeah,
hard
Josh,
All
time.
about
you
the
gonna-
typhoon,
you gonna
my
try this
friend. Oh yeah.
That's what I discovered. You need to typhoon that robot. That's what you need to
Okay,
do.
no.
So
Here's
now
the
I
thing.
think of
All systems are down.
So what's about to happen is we're about to get ambushed, where a bunch of people attack us, and we have the option of leaving her to deal with all of them and die, or defeating all of them, which is really hard if you have to use non-lethal force like I did.
Yeah, it's pretty
Well,
hard
that
to
company.
get pacifist if you really want to do this.
yeah, I'm sure
but
it's possible to get pacifist and save
It's
Malik, but
possible.
I'll bet it's
It's possible.
possible. But
If I'd had the peps, it would have been easier, actually.
Don't be a sitting duck.
Maybe not. But this is your best chance to slip.
If I'd had the peps, it would have been easier, but as it was, I had to, like, sneak around and punch them all out and close.
Did you pull it
And,
off?
like, I ran out of energy real fast.
Did you pull it off?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it took forever.
Nice.
And technically, one of them died when the robot exploded, but...
Oh,
I
so you
can
didn't.
count.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you a golf clap for that, because this, even if you're just going full on murder, this is a tough fight. You've got to put these guys down fast enough before they do too much damage to Malik's ship. You just gotta murder people so fast.
Oh Jesus.
I like how, while the gun was sitting right up on top of you, it wasn't doing any damage.
Yeah,
Typhoon
well,
vulnerability field.
yeah, the typhoon is really ridiculous when it comes to cutscene invulnerability. Where's the last guy?
I suppose this is a lot easier if they have the typhoon and your magical shotgun
How did you
revolver
fix
or
the
rocket launcher
thing without even
revolver.
getting out?
Thanks, spy boy.
I know.
Anyway, okay. I suppose we should mention something about that. That was probably the best dialogue between Malik and Jensen right there, and the dialogue that everyone remembers. Thanks, Spy Boy, and so on. And it really, really, really sucks if she dies right here, to the point where I don't think anyone I know really went along with that.
I did it twice.
Didn't, like,
I let her die twice. I was like,
resave
I just can't.
Or reload.
I went into this fight at one point, and all I had was like a stun gun and darts or something just completely stupid.
Yeah,
and
that's all I
just
had.
did not. Yeah, I did not have enough power to, and I didn't have the Typhoon. I just could not kill these dudes fast enough. I tried a few times and
terrible
gave up.
characters, Seamus. Anyway,
barely got away in time.
Going
yeah,
back
see,
to Hugh
I
Darrow
role
for a
play in
moment.
my role play games. I don't start out to break them.
I role play a guy who breaks
You
things.
Munchkin. You Munchkin.
Going back to Hugh Darrow for a moment. So you get to the office, and he gives off all these really creepy vibes. And the problem I have with it is they're kind of trying to build Hugh Darrow up as the main villain of the game, but I feel like they're doing it in the third act, and up until this point, you know about him as kind of a set piece if you've been paying attention, but you have no knowledge whatsoever about him as a character in this world. And
it's true. It's just
and
way
I mean,
too late to
there's
be
some
introducing a bad
implications.
guy.
I mean, if you've been paying attention, oh geez, well, I guess we fucked up pretty hard there. I love that guy who falls off there. Also, so we got diverted to some other part of the city that happens to be right next to the only goddamn city block in the entire goddamn city. This guy dropped a gun, but I can't take it. So you get like some kind of
Have you been watching
like
the news?
Been a bit busy,
setup or development for him. Like
Health
you see that,
Organization
like,
is advising all
if you've been paying attention, you know that
check
he's
in
the
with
one who
Liz.
basically invented
There's a problem with
augmentations.
biotechnology.
The glitches I've been
And yet
experiencing.
he doesn't
We've
seem
all
to
had
use them. He's got
So
a
far, I can't
cane,
determine
which
why.
becomes
You heading to a
important.
clinic?
I'm running a few more tests, but
But-
since I can't exactly
but
run
we
them
just-
on
there's
you,
not
and we
enough
don't know
there
when you'll be back, you might not want to wait.
Give us a
to
proper
you.
villain character.
Why? Because we don't really need it. We've only heard him like speak on the radio in that place.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
gets
like the
really,
place where he
really,
had-
really freaking dumb when you get to his in conversation, which we'll get to later. I felt like it was just a bad setup.
It doesn't help that his motivation is basically that of a bad JRPG villain, where, you know, to save the
Right.
world we have to scorch it.
And I'm doing it because I'm in so much pain because of personal angst.
Well, hey, wasn't that the plot of Final Fantasy? You know, like most of
Which
them?
one? He asked innocently.
I'll think about it.
Oh, and then she just offered. We've been seeing our character glitch out.
Yeah.
Our HUD's been glitching out, and she just offered us a firmware upgrade for our noggin that would stop that from happening.
You are.
Yeah. So what's been happening is
That's
this
good
is
asking.
this weird
I'm
like
sorry, Mr.
glitch
Jensen.
that
I am being
causes all the
impolite.
weird colors.
My
and
name is
makes
Wing Hui.
Jensen grunt
I am
slightly
a
like he's
doctor.
dying.
I can see that. When
Has
I
been
live
affecting
in
all
this,
augmented
how do you know
people.
who I am?
Yes, of course.
And
Excuse me.
I don't remember if
I'm a
it's
bit nervous.
Taeyong Medical, but it was
Bell
someone
Tower agent
came
from
out on the
Bell
news and
Holiday,
basically said,
looking
okay,
for a
there's
man
some
who
kind of
fits your
glitch with
description.
like the
When I heard what they were saying of you,
neural
it
control
occurred to me
processor,
that
or
you might
whatever
be
the fuck,
exactly the person I
that
need.
basically everyone has to control augments.
Are you trying to blackmail me, Doc?
And
No, of course not. I assure you, Mr.
and that
Jensen,
you need to go and get a
no
new
one
chip
in
to
this
fix
clinic
it.
would
Everyone
dare
needs
to
to go
turn
and
you
get a
over
new
to
chip
the
and fix
police.
it. And
Jim has very
Pritchard
strict
kind of
rules
like
about patient
sounds
confidentiality,
suspicious about it.
especially
And of
if
course,
those
you know,
patients belong
if
to
you've
our
been paying any attention to the goddamn
to
plot,
hear.
you should be pretty suspicious
this
of
all
anything
about
that
then?
Picus says
I'm
on their
afraid I
news
won't
that
be
says,
able to go
"Hey,
into very
we
much
should
detail.
you should go and
Not
get
before I know you
a
are
new
really willing to
augment
help.
chip
But I need
thing
someone to help
so
me
that
to
you
stop
can
a very
stop the
dangerous
bug."
augmented soldier, and possibly his
So
Is it?
If
Hopefully, if
everything
you've been paying
Belzar said
attention,
of
you
is
didn't
true,
go for this
then
unless you
would
wanted to
seem the
roleplay
good fit
a
for
dumb
this job.
Jensen.
I
Is it
can
actually
see
possible
people
to get the
missing.
upgrade?
Fine, I'll do it. Just
Oh
tell me
yeah,
more.
you can do it,
Thank
and
you.
it screws you so
You can
hard in
totally
the
do
last
it.
boss
Understand
fight.
that I am to give you sensitive
That's when it
information
gets
on
sprung
Which
on
is
you
just
during
what
the
you
last
want
boss
in a
fight.
boss fight in this game.